specifically to empower children in a positive way. So, actualizing your potential. The Rebbe, with extraordinary insight, he perceived the wealth of potential in each and every one of us. His inspiration, now accessible through writings and the videos available. Just go online, put the Rebbe in, you'll find it. Go to Chabad.org. Boasts and boosts all the Rebbe's words, the importance of the individual. Igniting the awareness that each one of us have hidden wealth and motivating us a desire to fulfill that potential. In the same way, many a community have been transformed by the Rebbe's message and have been given directly or indirectly a new sense of purpose and confidence. In each case, the same strong, if subtle, message was imparted. The Rebbe taught us, you are divinely gifted with enormous strength and energy. Go and actualize it. Let me just share with you a couple of incidents that gives you an idea of the Rebbe's look and caring and sensitivity. When a beloved individual in Crown Heights Jewish community had a heart attack, this was during the holiday in 1976. I actually was there in the synagogue at that time. The ambulance arrived too late to save this person's life. Now, this tragedy gave birth to the Crown Heights Volunteer Ambulance Group, also known as Chevra Hatzalah, which in Hebrew means the rescue team. So the first ambulance was purchased by the founder of the Brooklyn Rescue Team, Rabbi Yehuda Leib Bristritsky. Now the van, the ambulance, was parked outside of Lubavitch World Headquarters. Although at the time that was a central location in the community, it also got them into trouble. Let me explain. The Rebbe sent a message to Rabbi Bristritsky. The Rebbe had seen the coming in every day, had seen the ambulance, and instructed him to remove the Kedushas from the Hatzalah logo. What is the Kedushas logo? The Rebbe explained that logo that's typically on an office door, the urgent care centers that we see, the actual Kedushas is a Greek symbol that is sourced in idolatry and should not be used. It was immediately removed and later replaced with a heart that has been adopted by many of the Jewish volunteer groups. So today, if you live in a community where they have this volunteer ambulance group, you will see that the symbol on the vans, on the ambulances, is with a heart as opposed to the Kedushas. All thanks to the Rebbe. Now, one would think that the best place to keep an ambulance would be in an indoor parking garage. Keeping it in a warm place, protected from the elements, would prevent the vehicle from needing to be warmed up and to save time in an emergency. Nevertheless, when exiting the Kingston Avenue train station, the ambulance is parked outside on the cold street. And what's fascinating is that whenever I see it, there's always a contraption of wires hangs from the synagogue building to keep the ambulance warm. There's always a connection there with a big wire strung across the street. But why? Who would want to see an ambulance every day? Why would we want to be reminded of sick people? Anyone who has to be rushed to the hospital in an ambulance will never forget the misery of the ride. But the Rebbe, with his passion for finding the positive in everything, saw it very differently. The Rebbe emphasized the importance of preventive medicine. The Rebbe encouraged doctors to dedicate themselves to preventing illnesses rather than waiting until people are sick and then treat them. The Rebbe explained that when a person knows that there are competent doctors available, it gives the person a certain serenity and peace that prevents illness. Similarly, the Rebbe explained that seeing the ambulance regularly will remind people to be preemptive with their health and to take steps to staying healthy. Hopefully this, the Rebbe said, hopefully like this, they will never have to see a doctor in the case of an emergency. So our question today is, as we stand in this important period of time, days of reflection, inspiration. What is the difference between a rabbi and a Rebbe? So what's the difference between the Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and a regular rabbi? There are many differences, too many for our program today. But one I share with you today is, a rabbi answers questions, a Rebbe answers people. A rabbi hears what you say with your mouth, a Rebbe hears what you're saying with your soul. Let me explain a bit more. Give you an example. A teenage boy once asked the Rebbe, "Do you believe in reincarnation?" The Rebbe's answer was short and cryptic. "Yes, we do believe in reincarnation, but don't wait until then." Now this seems puzzling. Wait until when? The boy asked a simple question which could have been answered with yes or no. Why did the Rebbe add the words? What did he mean by saying, "Don't wait until then"? The answer the Rebbe was responding was more than just saying and giving a response to a technical question. The Rebbe knew how to answer the person, not the question. Most of us respond to a question posed to us. The Rebbe would respond to the person behind the question. With his insight, he could identify where the question was coming from and address the underlying issue rather than just the one presented. When this boy asked about reincarnation, he was not asking about the abstract theological concept. He wanted to know if this lifetime is all there is, or if there's more. The possibility of reincarnation changes the way we look at life. We were here before, and so some of the events that happen to us now may be leftovers from a previous life, and we may live again, which means that we get another chance to complete unfinished business from this lifetime in the next. This seems to be what the Rebbe was warning the young boy. Reincarnation doesn't mean procrastination. Don't use it as an excuse to put off to your next life what you need to achieve in this life. Indeed, we believe in the re-embodiment of the soul, which means we believe in the second chances. But maybe this life is the second chance. Don't leave it to the next. This is the power of a Rebbe. A regular rabbi, when asked such a question, would start quoting mystical sources and explaining complex doctrines. But the Rebbe, in a 10-second exchange with a teenage boy, taught a practical and comprehensive worldview. Live this lifetime as if it is your last. You may have past lives and you may have future lives, but don't wait until then. Do it now. Do it now. Another question that will give us an insight. We have guests over at our home Friday night. We look forward to that. We appreciate those who come. We have a great time. One of the guests asked us, "I've noticed you have a huge picture of the Rebbe hanging in your living room." The picture of the Rebbe, Rabbi Schneerson. And the person says, "I don't mean to be rude, but is this type of reverence for a human being appropriate? What's going on here, you know? I won't tell you what I see hanging up in my studio right now." So let me give you an answer. Of course, I revere the Rebbe, but not because he was superhuman. On the contrary, let me explain. Here was a man that received up to 1,000 letters a day and answered them all. Advised concerned parents of unwell children and singles searching for life partners with the same love and attention as he advised presidents, prime ministers on world affairs. The Rebbe had the vision to set up a network, a whole web of institutions around the globe in order to rebuild Judaism after the Holocaust. Promoted values and morals for the non-Jewish world. The Rebbe was as comfortable in the sciences as he was in Torah wisdom, and found God in both. Healed the sick with his blessings and answered people's questions before they even asked them. Took the responsibilities of the world on his shoulders, but yet had time for every individual. These are just a sample of the Rebbe's qualities. But above all, why I revere the Rebbe is because he was human. For a superhuman to achieve all the above is no big deal. They don't have to work hard to become heroes. But for a human being of flesh and blood, wow, it's nothing short of amazing. That's why I have a picture of the Rebbe on my wall. It always reminds me of what a human being can achieve. And I can always do more to better the world. I personally met the Rebbe many times, several times one-on-one, listened to the Rebbe for thousands of hours. It was due to the Rebbe's influence on me. It took a shy little boy out of London and trying to make the world a better place here on Long Island. So, dear friends, when I see the Rebbe's picture and I compare it to what I see in the mirror, I realize what I can be. So, dear friends, that is why I have a picture of the Rebbe. And from the Rebbe's teachings, I've learned what God is. And from the Rebbe's life, I've learned what a human being can be. So, dear friends, this is a very, very important time for us to think of the Rebbe, to dedicate ourselves to find out more about the Rebbe. It is amazing, these teachings, his insight. It's all available. Go to Chabad.org, Chabad.org. You have a sampling. There's a whole section called the Rebbe.org. There's so much there for you to be able to find and to really enjoy and be inspired in making the world a better place. I will conclude one more time with a little story, again, that I shared with our wonderful congregation yesterday, Congregation Beth Shalom Chabad, flagship, trend-setting synagogue of Nassau County. A very famous rabbi came to the Rebbe in 1975, and the Rebbe was suggesting to him to become more involved in not just caring for his own students, but reaching out to all types of Jews. And the Rebbe said to him, what's the most important limb after the brain? He said, the heart. And which is the more important side of Judaism, right or left? For sure the right, he said. Joseph was upset with his father when he placed his left hand on his older son. The right side is associated with love, closeness, and vigor. So the Rebbe asked, why is the heart on the left side of the body? And the Rosh Yeshiva remained quiet. I will tell you the answer. The heart is really is really to the right, not to the left. You see, the heart of a person is made to feel, to emphasize, to connect, to be there for another person. My heart was given to me to feel your pain, your needs, your concerns. My heart was given to me to experience the soul and the heart of the person standing in front of me. My heart is here for you, and from your vantage point, my heart is on your right. My heart is not about me, it's all about you. And from your perspective, it is on the right. That really sums up the Rebbe's life, his perspective, his mandate of all of us. Never shut our eyes to the pain of another person. Never turn a deaf ear to the cry of a child or a teenager or a man or a woman or a child who could use our love, our help, our gesture, our wisdom, and our kindness. This is your host, Rabbi Pearl, wishing you all the best. Be inspired. Sei gesund, a gut Jahr. Until next week, all the best, good health, and success.